of our Divine Mother from the All India magazine of 2010 January, page 9, topic Spring Up Out of Half Consciousness, Have a Clear Understanding of the Meaning of Life. Our Divine Mother says, well, to find out what one truly is, to find out why one is on earth, what is the purpose of physical existence, of this presence on earth, of this formation, this existence, the vast majority of people live without asking themselves this even once. Only a small elite ask themselves this question with interest, and fewer still start working to get the answer. For unless one is fortunate enough to come across someone who knows it, it is not such an easy thing to find. Suppose, for instance, that there had never come to your hands a book of Sri Aurobindo's or of any of the writers or philosophers or sages who have dedicated their lives to this quest. If you were in the ordinary world, as millions of people are in the ordinary world who have never heard of anything except at times and not always nowadays, even quite rarely, of some gods and a certain form of religion which is more a habit than a faith, and which, besides, rarely tells you why you are on earth, then one doesn't even think of thinking about it. One lives from day to day the events of each day. When one is very young, one thinks of playing, eating, and a little later of learning, and after that one thinks of all the circumstances of life. But to put this problem to oneself, to confront this problem and ask oneself, but after all, why am I here? How many do that? That too comes only in special circumstances, and unfortunately, most of the time, these have to be painful circumstances, otherwise, one goes on living unthinkingly. And in the depths of one's being is this psychic being which seeks to awaken the consciousness and re establish the union. One knows nothing about it. Our Divine Mother says there is such a great difference between feeling vaguely, having a hesitant impression of something, of a force, a moment, an attraction of something which drives you in life, but it is still so vague, so uncertain, it is hazy. There is such a difference between this and having a clear vision, an exact perception, a total understanding of the meaning of one's life. And only then does one begin to see things as they are, not before. Only then can one follow the thread of one's destiny and clearly see the goal and the way to reach it. But that happens only through successive inner awakenings, like doors opening suddenly on new horizons. Truly a new birth into a truer, deeper, and more lasting consciousness. Our Divine Mother says, until then, you live in a cloud, gropingly under the weight of a destiny which at times crushes you, gives you the feeling of having been made in a certain way and being unable to do anything about it. You are under the burden of an existence which weighs you down, makes you crawl on the ground instead of rising above and seeing all the threads, the guiding threads, the threads which bind different things into a single moment of progression towards a realization that grows clear. One must spring up out of this half consciousness, which is usually considered quite natural. This is your normal way of being, and you do not even draw back from it sufficiently to be able to see and wonder at this incertitude, this lack of precision. While, on the contrary, to know that one is seeking and to seek consciously, deliberately, steadfastly, and methodically, this indeed is the exceptional. almost abnormal condition. And yet, only in this way does one begin to truly live, says our Divine Mother. Next topic: New Birth into the Psychic Consciousness, a Must, by our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, the soul, the psychic being, is in direct touch with the divine truth, but it is hidden in man by the mind, the vital being, and the physical nature. One may practice yoga and get illuminations in the mind and the reason. One may conquer power and luxuriate in all kinds of experiences in the vital. One may establish even surprising physical cities, but if the true soul power behind does not manifest, if the psychic nature does not come into the front, nothing genuine has been done. In this yoga, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo, in this yoga, integral yoga, the psychic being is that which opens the rest of the nature to the true supramental light and finally to the supreme Ananda. Mind can open by itself to its own higher reaches. It can still itself and widen into the impersonal. It may too spiritualize itself in some kind of static liberation or nirvana. But the supramental cannot find a sufficient base in a spiritualized mind alone. If the inmost soul is awakened, if there is a new birth of the mere mental, vital, and physical into the psychic consciousness, then this yoga can be done. Otherwise, by the sole power of the mind or any other part, it is impossible. If there is a refusal of the psychic new birth, a refusal to become the child newborn from the Divine Mother, owing to attachment to intellectual knowledge or mental idea or to some vital desire, then there will be a failure in the sadhana, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo's blessings to everyone on the occasion of our Divine Mother's birthday. Our Lord says, let the new birth become manifest in your heart and radiate in calm and joy and take up all the parts of your being, mind and vision and will and feeling and life and body. Let each date in your life be a date of its growth and a greater completeness till all in you is the child of the Divine Mother. Let the light and power and presence envelop you and protect and cherish and foster till all in your inner and outer existence is one moment and an expression of its peace and strength and ananda. With blessings, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother.
from this sinking creature's burdened hours, to free and griefless spaces now she turns. Here was the childhood of primeval earth, imperial acres of the eternal sower, and wind-stirred grasslands winking in the sun, or mid green musing of woods and rough browed hills. In the groves, murmurous bee air, humming wild, or past the long, laping voice of silver floods, like a swift hope journeying among its dreams, hastened the chariot